to my channel, and thank you for joining us on another episode of Prime Math Zoom. Today we'll be focusing on creating bar graphs. So here goes. At Sterling Silver Primary School, there are 5 houses: red house, blue house, yellow house, green house, and purple house. These are the grade 2 students in the different houses. So here we have, in red house, we have Pamela, Martin, Marva, Timmy, and Daniel. Let's see who we have in the blue house. We have Kellyanne, we have Sophia, and we have Nisha. Now, what we are doing here, we are creating bar graphs. So you see, we're just putting the representative right in their place. For greenhouse, we have Andre, Deborah, Richard, Winsome, Damian, Amain, and Chantel. In the yellow house, we have Bridget, Latoya, and Delando. And in purple house, we have Dane and Marsha. Now, these are the representatives of the persons in the different houses at Sterling Silver Primary School. So, with bar graphs are graphs created using bars. Now, these are supposed to be the bars that we're creating. However, what we're doing is we're just putting each person in their place. So in putting each person in their place, you would realize that in red house, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 students. In blue house, we have 1, 2, 3. In green house, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And in yellow house, we have 1, 2, 3. In purple house, we have 1, 2. Look carefully and note that these bars or these representatives are not sitting beside each other. They are not closely packed. There are spaces in between each bars. So I want you to always remember that when creating bar graphs, there are spaces in between bars. Now, bar graphs are used to make information displayed in in a more colorful way, or in an easier way, easy to be interpreted, and it's not as jumbled like a raw data. Because what we could have done was collect data from all the students and just write down the names, but we didn't do that. We sorted them in different groups, and in sorting them we would have created some bars. Now, of course, with bar charts, there are things that we always have to take in consideration. So we have to think about this axis, it must be labeled, and this axis must be labeled. And something too that we can never ever miss out is a title. Now, the bar graph, each bar graph should have a title and a key. Now, the key tells us what is representing each descriptors. So here we're going to think about a suitable title for this bar graph. Now I'm thinking about the houses at Sterling Silver Primary School, since that is what we're representing. So here we have the houses at Sterling Silver Primary School. Also, for this axis here, what do you think this axis is telling us? And note that it starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It goes all the way up to 7 from 0. What do you think we could label this axis? What is this axis telling us about the data here? Yes, this is telling us about the number of students who are in each house. So we can label this to say number of students. Let us go down here because we have to write the different descriptors here so we know what each bar is representing. And we have red, blue, green, yellow, and purple. And what are these representing? Yes, they are representing the houses. And for the key, we could draw up something where we have the different colors. So we draw a block showing key, and we have the different colors in there with their labels. So we could have had a red counter, and beside we have a red house. We could have had a yellow counter, and beside it the yellow house, so on and so forth. Now let's move over to drawing actual bars. So we have 5 students in the red house. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're over red here, so we know that we must draw our graph. All right, so this should be 5. All right, I think I'm gonna do most of this with freehand so I can see. All right, so then let's look at blue house. Blue house has 3 students. So 1, 2, 3. So let's go across to blue right here. Okay, so let's go blue house. Okay. All right. Then we have greenhouse with 7 students. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, all the way over. Here. And we're trying to get the spaces in between here as even as possible. And we're also trying to get the bars the same width. Okay? Okay. So this is 7. Yellow house has 3 students. So we know 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yellow house. Okay. And we have purple house with 1, 2 students. So let's go across here. Okay. All right. So here we would have represented all the 5 houses. So our key has red house, we have blue house, we have green house, yellow house, and purple house. So this would be a representative or a way of representing the different houses and how many students are in each house. And here, please note again that there must be a title on your graph at all times. There must be labeling of the axes, number of students we have on ours, and houses. So there are a couple questions that we would like to answer to. So the first question I want to ask is, which house has the most students? Now we know that this house, red house, has 5 students. Good, so we can put 5 here. This house has 5 students. This house, blue house, has 3 students. Greenhouse has, wow, 7 students. Yellow house has 3. Purple house has 2. So there we can see, so we can decide which house has the most students. Is it red house, blue house, green house, yellow house, or purple house? Yes, good job. It is green house at 7. So green house at 7 is the most popular house. Now I also want to ask, which houses have the same number of students? Right, this has 5, red, blue has 3, green has 7, yellow has 3, purple has 2. Good. So blue house and yellow house has the same number of students. Now, which house is least popular? What do we mean by least popular? Right. Which house has the least amount of students? So we have 5 in red, 3 in blue, 7 in green, 3 in yellow, 2 in purple. Yes, so purple house has the least number of students. Now, if you were to balance the number of students in each house, how would you do it? Right, so we're back to this one here where we can actually move around the different students in the different houses. So if we were to balance them, because how is it that we must have a fair sports day if we have 7 in this house, just 2 in this, and so on? So we have to try to balance, so we can help to balance the students in the houses so we have a fair sports day. How do you think we could approach it? Yes, we could take some students from the house with the most students and put in the least students. So let's see if we want to take 1. Okay, let's take 1. And here we have this house with 3, purple with 3, yellow house with 3, blue house with 3. But red house still has 5 and green house still has 6. So let's see. Let's see if we can take some from green house and put in the other houses. Okay, so here we would have realized that all of these are on the same. So let's see if we can go to another house to add to this blue house. Okay, so red house has 5. Let's take 1 and put it in blue house. And there we go. We would have balanced the students in all 5 houses. Can you tell me how many students are now in one house? 1, 2, 3, 4 is in red house. Let's see blue house if we have the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. In green house. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. And in yellow house. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. We balance all the houses with the same number of students. So let us do a little recap. In creating bar graphs, the bars must be even spaced apart. We have to try as best as possible to have all the bars the same width. Also, our bar graphs must have, yes, a title, must have labeling on this axis, our vertical axis, and labeling on our horizontal axis. Those are very important in having a bar graph. And also, do not forget the key. So thank you for joining us on this other episode of Prime Math Zoom. Please like and subscribe. See you next time.